to order. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, no in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted at this meeting. Board members will participate in this meeting remotely, as this meeting will be accessible to the public via the Zoom online option. Please see the town website for information and instructions on how to attend the meeting. Moving forward in this meeting, the chair instructs the meeting administrator to withhold access to speak at the meeting until or unless such persons requesting to speak are visible on screen, and respectfully request such access. Okay. The Bellingham Conservation Commission will hold no, wrong one. This is the one. Okay. Bellingham Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, on the notice of intent for the proposal to construct a new access roadway, improvements to existing roadway, stormwater management facilities, utility improvements, including a pump station located within a 100-foot buffer zone, bordering vegetated wetlands, including proposed alteration of 150 square feet of BVW located at Assessor's Map 45, Parcel 50, 6 North Main Street, Mill Street, and Common Street, Bellingham. Mark Allen, Allen Engineering Associates, 1 Charles View Road, Hopedale, Mass. Has submitted the filing on behalf of Dennis Rain, Bellingham Town Administrator, 10 McCormick Street, Bellingham. The continuation will be held online via the Zoom option on Wednesday, April 28th at 7 p.m.
Mr. Chair, I recuse myself.
Please note that Ariane has recused herself. So when we set this meeting 2.5 months ago, we had anticipated that there might be a little bit of difficulty in putting everything together in a timely fashion. So we left 5 minutes for this hearing and for the following Red Mill hearing. And as we have been unable to distribute information to the commission, I'm going to suggest that we continue the hearing until such time that the commission has received all pertinent information and that hopefully we receive the first of our peer review comment letters. So what I'm looking at is, and I'm hoping that in 2 weeks, we'll be able to proceed in some fashion with this. So that being the case, I'll entertain a motion to continue the hearing to the evening of May 12th at 7.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, a unanimous vote. So hopefully, I know that our peer reviewer has received the bulk of the information now. And we look forward to seeing the information that he provides. And rest assured that now that we have the link for the PDF files, Ian will be getting that out to commission members soon, so we can all take a peek at it. All right. So I'm going to proceed with the opening of our next hearing. The Bellingham Conservation Commission will hold continuations of public hearings in accordance with Mass Wetlands Protection Act, General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bellingham Wetlands Protection Bylaw, and the notice of intent for the proposal to construct roadways, associated utilities, and stormwater management system for the residential subdivision in town of Red Mill on the Charles, consisting of 109 single-family dwellings and 54 townhouse units. The proposal includes 247 linear feet of alteration to bank, 3,180 square feet of impacts for bordering vegetated wetlands, with 6,600 square feet of proposed replication, 967 square feet of impacts to land under water bodies and waterways, and 117,892 square feet of proposed alteration to the riverfront area, including 17,969 square feet in the inner riverfront area and 99,923 square feet of impacts to the outer riverfront area. The proposed project is located at Assessor's Map 51, parcel 13-1, Mechanic Street and Mill Street, Bellingham. Mark Allen, Allen Engineering Associates, Charles Lee Road, Hopedale, Mass. has submitted the filing on behalf of Kevin Lobasur, Snowflake LLC, Charles Lee Road, Hopedale, Mass. The continuations will be held online via the Zoom option on April 28th at 7:05. Again, in light of the fact that we are going to be awaiting our peer review comments, and that now that we have all the information, it will be distributed. I'm going to continue the hearing to the evening of May 12th, and we'll go at 7:30 to keep these two projects back to back. So I'll entertain a motion to continue the hearing to May 12th at 7:05. I mean, at 7:30.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I recuse myself.
Thank you. You did that in time, and I forgot to ask. Okay.
Thanks for not refusing to recuse. Yeah.
So we have a motion to second. There's no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, by unanimous vote. Uh, 7:10. The Bellingham Conservation Commission will hold continuations of public hearings in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Action Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bellingham Wetlands Protection Bylaw, and a notice of intent for earthwork, landscaping, and stormwater management facilities within 150 and 50-foot buffer zone associated with construction of a multi-family residential development entitled Hartford Village 2, located at Assessor's Map 23, Parcel 6, Hickinson Street, Bellingham. Drew Govan, Andrews Survey and Engineering, Uxbridge, Mass. has submitted the filing on behalf of KNS Realty Trust, Milford, Mass. The continuations will be held online via the Zoom option on Wednesday, April 28th at 7:10. We are in receipt of a letter dated April 23rd. On behalf of the applicant KNS Realty, please accept this letter as a formal request to continue the public hearing for the above referenced project to May 12th. We hope that this serves your needs. Should you have any questions, let us know. Our administrators had subsequent conversations. It looks like our May 12th meeting is going to be slammed. Part of the problem we have with May is that our second meeting, it falls on the same date as the annual town meeting. This always happens to us, and it creates a bit of a challenge for scheduling. Our administrator has contacted the applicant, and they've agreed to a continuation on June 9th, which is good.
Yeah, and if I could just comment. Yeah, so we just received the check, the peer review check for Hickson Street just late last week. And I did suggest to Byron Andrews of Andrews Survey that there probably wouldn't be enough time, there won't be enough time for our peer review to be able to get something going. And the applicant, Brad Right. He agreed, and he said, look, we're not going to have enough time. If we can continue to the first meeting in June. So the applicant is fully aware that, you know, that's a good possibility. I agreed with his suggestion, and so I'd like to suggest that we do move forward on the June 9th continuation.
Did BSC give you any idea how long the review might take? Or have they already taken a look at it?
They have looked at it. I don't think it's going to be, well, once they get into it and start reading what is involved, if the volumetric calculations are good, it will go quicker. If they have a problem with the capacity of the redesigned basin, they may need to request additional information. So I'm just sitting tight on that to see what they come up with.
Okay. That being the case, I'll entertain a motion to continue the hearing for Hartford Village 2 to the evening of June 9th at 7:10.
So moved.
Neil,
Secondarily,
Mike, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, by unanimous vote. Is Margaret present?
No, but Bill Morris is.
Oh, Bill, okay.
I see him there.
So in an unusual situation, Bill, we are slightly ahead of the schedule. If you agree, then we'll proceed and open and get you on a few minutes early.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. In the event that an abutter contacts us and we've moved on, then we will provide an update to them along what transpired. So, the Bellingham Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bellingham Wetlands Protection Bylaw on the notice of intent for the proposal to repair an existing failing septic system located within a 100-foot buffer zone to border of vegetated wetlands at Assessors Map 79, Parcel 3, 721 South Main Street, Bellingham. Margaret Bacon, Civil Site Engineering, Uxbridge, Mass, has submitted the filing on behalf of Mark Drainville, 721 South Main Street, Bellingham. The hearing will be held online via the Zoom option on Wednesday, April 28th at 7:20. Okay. You may proceed.
Bear with me. I've only done this a couple times, but you pretty much explained everything. Septic repair within the BVW. We've got the DEP number. The system is large. The soil was, there's a high slow perk rate, high groundwater. Board of Health approved the septic plan. The client is really eager to fix this. It's a failed system, and we'd like to get, we'd like to.
Bill, is this a Presby system?
Yes, it's a Presby. So we asked for the 2 foot to groundwater waiver. That was the only waiver.
Do you have a plan? Do you have the ability to share the plan with a shared screen?
I'm sorry, no, I don't.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have a commissioner who might be able to do that? Sure.
I have one up right now.
I'm sorry?
I have one up.
Okay. Then
Mike, you should be good to share.
All right, give me a second. I'm just clicking the right thing here.
so Bill, you're going to see this plan and you can walk us through it.
All right, the field is in the same area as the existing field. The like I said, it's large. The perk rate was real slow. The soil wasn't the greatest soil.
Okay, just a little time out here. Does everyone know where we are?
Closest street is Chestnut. So where's this
Very
put
good.
this in perspective to like the high school?
Well, this is, as you're going south, there's the Jolliker door and the landscaping.
Oh, right. Yep.
So it's 2 houses past that on the left,
On the left. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, right across the street from a garage, I believe,
Yeah, Yep.
an auto repair garage.
Yep, that's correct.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to make sure that the commission was aware of where we were. No.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not really exactly sure how much information I need to give you.
Okay, well,
We're
it's relatively
like
straight.
most septic repairs, we're limited to where we can put it. There's really no place in the front or the sides. We can only put it in the back. We got it as far away from the, we got the tank, the pump chamber, and then the field, and BBW.
And your closest point of impact, Bill, is over 50 feet for sure.
It's like 60 feet.
Yeah, it's just over 50 feet. So one of the things now, just so that the commission understands, the administrator and I went out, we inspected the wetland line. It's relatively flat and it is squishy back there. We found the line to be accurate.
Good.
We had one question, and there's a really big sugar maple there. It looks like it's about a 24-inch diameter tree.
Oh.
And in the notice of intent, it said no trees would be cut. And yet it looks like this is in one of the leaching trenches.
This says 40-inch tree on the plan.
All
40
right,
inches.
Okay, so, all right,
And there's a 24 behind it there.
40-inch tree.
40-inch tree. Yeah, it's a massive tree.
So is that going to be cut?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know we had said no trees are going to be cut.
The reason that I was asking is because in the application for permit, it said no trees were going to be cut. And this tree is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So do you know for sure?
well, yeah, that 40-inch tree is right in the field. Yeah. That should have been on the permit, I'm sure, the application.
Yes, it is. Well, we hate to have a 150-year-old tree cut,
But we got this and we got this.
but, it's, the size of the system is required because there's only 2 feet of groundwater. It's a Presby system. And it's an existing cesspool. That's.
Mr. Chair, is there any, I know this is probably a stretch, but literally, but is there any way it could be turned 90 degrees and go to the left of the driveway as you enter the property? It looks like there's a reasonably large area that could be maybe off to the side there. That would avoid the tree in the middle of the back there.
Well, there's something that doesn't show there, Mike, and what it is there's a drain pipe that comes in off of the road,
Yeah.
and if you
I see.
look,
I see a catch basin at the top corner there.
correct,
Yeah.
yep, and so there's a pipe that runs down parallel to the asphalt driveway.
Oh,
You can see
So
that grading, yeah.
it's a good idea, but
Mm.
I don't think we want to introduce road drainage into the leaching field.
So wait a minute, why does if there's a catch basin at the road and there's this drainage pipe, you say that's running parallel to the driveway down towards the house, away from the road?
Yep. It goes right down to the wetland. That's probably what is contributing to the wetland.
I was just gonna say, and is there any filtration or anything? A catch basin is just catching the debris, but there's no,
The direct discharge. In fact, my guess would be that, looking at the condition of the pipe, it's broken in a couple of places. My guess would be that it's probably 60 years old. And at the time, they were looking for a low area to run the road drainage. There might have been a little wetland, but over a period of time, that area is expanded. And so the wetland area is fairly substantial now.
so just, if I'm picturing this pipe going down alongside the driveway, I'm picturing it now going all the way back to where it says benchmark circle or lot area. Does it go that far back? The existing pipe?
Well, it's further to the south, okay? And it exits probably, see where WF6 is?
Wetland flag 6.
Wetland flag 6?
Yeah,
Okay, it's probably about a foot to the west of that flag.
so to the left of it, to the right of it.
To the left of it.
Well, okay, so if it's going down parallel, sort of where almost where the green hedge line is, it's going in that direction, down
Yeah.
along that way?
Yep.
Is it going to, my question is it going to clear this new septic system, or is that pipe going to basically be going right through an old drainage
That's a
pipe?
good question.
If it goes that far out, it's got to be going through what's going to be the septic system, and that doesn't sound like a good recipe for things, especially if you don't know the condition of the pipe, if it's not below the grade of the septic and it's leaking.
Have you checked that out, Bill?
No, I don't think I have any, I don't think I have any information on that.
Well, no, see, you can see the catch basin.
Yeah.
What if I should call up our GIS and see where the pipe goes?
Catch basin, so,
If it's closer to the property line,
or is it on this side? I don't know.
I understand.
It'd be nice if it was off to the side far enough to the property line that you could actually slide the septic in and turn it 90 degrees, save the tree, but that's probably just wishful thinking, sort of like a pipe dream, I guess.
I think the system, the leach field is too large to be able to twist it like that anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
And you also have the tank and the pump chamber that you gotta be considering coming out of the house.
I'm calling up our GIS to see if I can determine, I'm on Ian's computer.
So Bill, was Margaret out there looking at this? Do you know?
Yes, yeah, we've all been out there at one time or another.
Okay, and
You
did,
saw the outfall, right?
From my visual, I can't say for certain, but I look at it, I thought that there was the drainage was more towards the property line, but I can't, it should have been drawn on the plan.
We just have to wait a little bit here. Come on. And what number is that?
721 South Main. You know, there is something on this plan, I just don't know what it's referring to. Oh, I think it's just measurements.
We're gonna put on storm. All right. Here's what I have, and this is not engineered, but I show. Okay, I show an area about 13 feet from the property line. Now, that's not a field survey. And so your septic system is, the grading is 4 feet 3 inches,
4 or 5.
4 feet 5 inches from the property line. What did I say that
Yeah,
was?
4.3.
At 14.3 feet? Or 14?
14.3 and
Or
13.6, 13.5.
Yeah, the ones are hidden by the line there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call up the house.
I'm not real comfortable with installing a system that close to a drain pipe that directly discharges into a wetland.
I got 14 feet. You know what? As much as I want to close this, I think that we have a situation here where you're showing grading 3.5 feet to 4.3 feet, and I'm showing the drain pipe 14 feet from the property line. That drain pipe's going to be intersecting, or there's a potential that drain pipe is going to intersect your leach field. If that's the case, you need to tweak this design. So I don't think we're going to be able to, I think we need some more field work on this.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
No, neither did I. Didn't even think about it.
Okay.
I mean, we really wanted to close this, but because.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I understand.
So,
Plus, it's a very long line. It must be going like 150 feet or something to get back to the wetland flag
Well,
6.
It is a long one.
yeah, the lot line is 171 feet.
It's probably broken in a few places.
It could very well be.
Yeah, last thing you want is drain water from the street going into a septic system.
Oh, absolutely agreed.
And we don't know how deep that pipe is either, that catch, the pipe from the.
We
catch
do not
basin.
know, and if the pipe is breached, you know, Mike's concern is good because maybe only 70% of the water is reaching the back of the property. The other 30% could be contributing to high groundwater. We've seen the high groundwater, so
Oh, that's too
yeah. All right, so here's what I'm going to suggest. How quickly do you think you can get out there and address this?
I'd have to bring it back to Margaret.
Someone's on a fire tablet is asking for permission to speak. Jim, am I supposed to do that?
I bad for name and address so I can recognize it to the chairman.
Okay.
Okay.
Bill could get Margaret.
Bill, is there any chance you can get Margaret on?
Let me try.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe she's on the fire tablet.
So the test pit is here.
I didn't
And
realize
how,
that goes all the way to the
yeah,
property line.
no, I didn't know that. And so how deep, what elevation is this? This is at
This
95,
is down 2 feet.
94. Mm. Freak out at 93.5. Mm. And we don't know how deep that
No,
is.
that should be located on there. No, it's possible that it goes right, maybe it misses, but what we're showing is,
Who's talking now? Fire tablet?
Sorry, what's going on?
well, what we're trying to determine here is the best course of action. Now, we know that our 13 feet from the property line is based on our GIS, and it's not necessarily the best, I mean, it's not field surveyed.
Right, which is why we need a field survey to know where the pipe is.
I think so.
I
It's-
think
There's no other course of action.
No, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to see when we can schedule this, because if they can get out here and address it, what we can do is maybe we can move it a little bit earlier at the start of our next meeting, so that we can wrap this up. It's a septic repair. It's failed. You know, but if he can't get a hold of her, we're going to have to try it anyway.
Mr. Chairman, it looks like Mr. Mark Drainville from 721 South Main Street has raised his hand.
Please, okay, let him, would you let him speak, please?
Thank you.
Thanks. Hello.
Looks like he's still muted.
He may have to unmute.
Hmm.
He's doing it.
Hey, good evening. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Mark Drainville. I actually live outside of Philadelphia on the South Jersey side, but I'm the owner of 721 South Main Street. That was my grandfather's house.
Yeah.
The pipe that you guys are talking about between the sugar maple, it goes, if you go into the property, you can see where there was a rototill garden to the left side of the house, looking at the house. The pipeline runs about 10 feet from the property. There's a line of, privacy trees there.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back up until you'll see where my grandfather had like wine vines. And then
We
it
saw
does
that.
then it does like a 30-degree angle. If you look about, guessing, 20 feet after the grass ends, the pipe just opens up and that's all your water in the back. He actually used to use it to water his garden in the back. But that's the way that it's an old cast iron pipe runs. I don't know if that helps in any which way. The tree, if we could do anything to save that tree, I would love it. That tree was planted the day they moved into the house in 1963. And there's actually a picture of my mother at 2 years old standing next to it. That's the same height. So anything we could do to save that tree,
We're all for.
we're all for. Yeah. So what's our next step? Because we're 3 months into this and
Okay.
several $1,000s.
Well, you know what? Septic repair, to meet current standards, it's a 4-bedroom house. That's a big system. And you got high groundwater, and we understand it. We're not trying to stop the repair. What we're trying to do, now you just told us you're estimating that pipe is 10 feet from the property line. And what happens is the grading for the system is average 4 feet from the property line. That means that pipe is going to be in the leaching field.
I understand.
So that's kind of a no-no. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this back in the engineer's hands. And we're going to say, locate the pipe, actually locate the pipe. And they may have to tweak the design somehow, tilt it one way or the other, because we can't have a drain pipe in a leach field.
I understand.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, am I responsible for a town drainage pipe that runs through my property?
You know, it's an interesting question, but we periodically see these situations. And what used to happen, 50, 60, even longer years ago, the town used to just run drainage pipes off the road to the back of people's properties. And there were not easements. We've had this happen, in our tenure probably a dozen times. And unfortunately, now we know better. Everything's done by easement. It's all surveyed. Everybody knows where they are. But in this situation, it's a situation, they called it country drainage.
I understand.
And they just ran the pipes wherever the low spots were.
Okay.
Is there any way, I'm sorry, this is his wife, Natalie. Is there any way we can expedite this? Because we have a buyer for the house and we've been pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, and we understand, and we want to get this repaired just as much as you do. So what we're gonna try to do, we're meeting in 2 weeks. Our agenda is pretty much slammed, but what we're willing to do is meet ahead of our regular meeting by
Okay.
15 minutes. And if the engineer can come up with the answers, we had the permit prepared tonight, but we had a question came up that was a good question, and
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
we're gonna address that.
And so,
Okay.
so is Bill Morris still around? Bill,
Yeah. Yep.
were you able to get a hold of Margaret?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh,
Okay,
that's too
so
bad.
here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're going to continue this. We're going to continue this to our next meeting,
Okay.
which is May 12th. And we're
Okay.
going to do it. We're going to do it at 6:45.
Okay.
And we're hoping, that the engineer will be able to adjust the system, locate the pipe, and come up with a plan that's going to protect everybody in the long term.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your understanding. We're just trying to get this done right.
And just as a point of interest, you live in South Jersey. You live in South Jersey,
Correct.
now by Philly. My family came from Audubon.
Audubon?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm familiar with the area.
Okay.
We are a small town called Franklinville, Gloucester. I'm about 20 minutes south of Philadelphia.
Okay.
So yeah,
On the-
so
on the
it's
Jersey
it's
side.
a trip to go up there every time. And like I said, we're over $7,000 in engineers fees, and this system's going to cost us 60 grand by the end of it.
Yeah.
So,
So we want it to work right.
Of course, but like we mentioned about the tree, anything that could, I want to keep the tree, but anything that could save us in the, throughout doing it and doing it correctly. I have buyers lined up. I don't want to give them a product that's not going to work correctly, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay, and so do we. And sorry it took so long to get you coordinated to be able to speak, but
No, that's fine. That's me not knowing how to use my tablet.
All right. So, Michael Heron, thank you.
Sure.
So I know our next meeting is going to be really difficult, but I'm gonna ask for your forbearance, please, and see if we can get these folks in. So I'd like to entertain a motion to continue the hearing to the evening of the 12th of May at 6:45.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
Okay, that's a unanimous vote. Now, Bill, you guys are gonna have to hustle on this,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
Well, everybody's extending themselves here. The owners are, the commission is. So please, let Margaret know that this is a hot one.
I will. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So much for our being ahead of schedule. But we're right on schedule. That being said, the Bellingham Conservation Commission will hold continuations of public hearings in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bellingham Wetlands Protection Bylaw on the notice of intent for the proposal to construct a 9-unit commercial building and stormwater management system within a 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands and isolated vegetated wetlands located in Census Map 4, Lot 72, 455 Hartford Avenue, Bellingham. Mitch Maslanka, Goddard Consulting, Northborough, Mass. has submitted a filing on behalf of Moshe Matthias, Darren Properties, Madden Avenue, Milford. Continuations will be held online via the Zoom option on Wednesday, April 28th at 7:40. I'm gonna let our administrator provide an update on this.
Yeah, so we had a peer review done. I'm trying to remember what happened here. We had some questions as to the setback, to the 50-foot setback to the infiltration basin. The applicant went back and modified the plans, however, did not come back with the 50-foot setback to the basin. And after we had sent this out to our peer reviewer, he just said, well, look, while they're redesigning this, I'm going to just bullet some other items that are missing in the plan. There was the frozen ground conditions, and there was the
25-year storm.
25-year storm event, and there were a number of other things. So the applicant has since contacted us and said that they'll be working on those revisions, and they requested a continuation for at least 4 weeks. So the closest date we have to that would be June 9th. And in the meantime, we're just going to be awaiting those revised plans from the applicant and Garrier and Howland.
So, this is good. The applicant is understanding what the performance standards are now, and hopefully, working with their engineer, will be able to meet all the performance standards. I know the planning board is also in the middle of this, but I suspect that the issues that we're dealing with here will answer a lot of their questions. So, that being the case, I'll entertain a motion to continue this hearing to the evening of June 9th at 7:40.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
What, the original basin met the performance standards, did it not?
I'm sorry?
No,
The-
No.
No?
not at 455, no.
The original, you mean the original proposal for?
The original design that we approved?
Okay, so this is 455 Hartford Avenue.
Oh, it's 455, I'm sorry.
That's
Right,
okay.
I figured you were probably confusing it with another project.
I am, my bad.
No
No, that's
problem.
okay, no problem.
Next to Rosewood.
Yeah, you know, one Hartford Ave seems like the next Hartford Ave.
You see, it's not like we've done 100 projects in the last year.
No,
99, let's not exaggerate, come on.
All right, so we had a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the continuation?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, by unanimous vote. All right, and so now, I'd like to welcome Jeff Krebs from Campanelli, who's going to be representing the development group for the Curtis Apartments. This will be a pre-construction meeting. Our administrators already had some discourse and has some information that had been provided to her, but in accordance with the order of conditions, we ask that they please come to the commission and provide a number of items, including the schedule, and there were some, the SWAP and some other items. So they are here.
Hey,
That looks a little different than the picture.
yeah. It's sometimes the headshots get a little outdated. Thanks for taking the time, and Ann, thank you so much for fitting us in. Joining me on the call, I have Todd Elliott, who's the project manager for our site work contractor. I also have Russ Dion, our partner from Campanelli, who has been instrumental in putting this entire deal together and this entire project together, and also Josh Swirling, who's our civil engineer from Bowler, who assembled our SWIP, which I sent over to you earlier today, and I wasn't sure if you had seen that.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I'll take a peek tomorrow and see.
Absolutely.
if it is there.
It's pretty boilerplate. All the norms in there is nothing out of the ordinary. The schedule items are listed in there, but our intent, we're pretty close to we believe we're pretty close to having everything finalized in land court. So hopefully the order of conditions is going to be recorded onto the deed within a few weeks, and we're chomping at the bit, looking to start moving forward with everything. I think if everything falls in line, we're hoping to be starting everything on the 17th of May, if possible. So with that said, our goal tonight was to kind of talk through, hear any questions you guys had from anything, to review anything in the order of conditions that we needed to review. I think we're all, everyone on our side of the fence is pretty well versed in it. I've probably read it about 100 times at this point, and make sure I have everything down in it. And we're hoping to get our surveyor out there to start marking all the boundaries, get SLT released to start installing all of the erosion controls and silt fence around the perimeter, and to kind of get everything going on our end.
So you said earlier that you are getting very close in land court. We're happy to hear that, because we didn't know what the status was last time we met. And I hope that your optimism is justified here, that you are moving along.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the questions I have, now I understand that once again, there will be work that's required in Mechanic Street. This will be the 4th time that road's been opened up. It's no fault of your own, but is there any sort of a time frame where that needs to be precluded?
Sorry, I cut you off. We're handling those two projects as two separate NOIs. We've Russ and I have both conversed with Ann quite a bit on that. The right now the road work portion is sitting with Mass DOT. I believe it's either a 75% or 100% set on that, and I believe we're within 2 to 3 weeks on hearing back on that. So our intent is to sit in on the June 9th meeting, for your June 9th meeting, to present that NOI to you. Hopefully we'll have all of the ducks in a row on our side to be able to meet that date.
Good.
Okay. So moving forward, of course, you understand that any work that takes place on the site that's outside of our jurisdiction, you're free to go.
Okay.
From our perspective, but anything, of course, that's within our jurisdiction until the order is recorded, sediment erosion control has been inspected, then the order has to be recorded in order for that to take place.
Understood and acknowledged.
So when do you anticipate the sediment erosion control to be in? I don't.
He said he wanted to start on May 17th.
May 17th.
Well, if I could go if there's any chance I could actually start getting the erosion controls in even before the order's recorded, if you guys are willing to allow that, then we'd more than happy to start getting going on getting the erosion controls and getting everything marked out.
I don't think the commission will have a problem with installing sediment erosion control. Other activities that are a little more, that require a little more effort or work might be different, but does anybody have an objection to installing sediment erosion control before the order is recorded?
I think we want to see it everywhere in town.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, I think we want to see it everywhere in town, erosion control. So if you can just expand, there's lots of other thoughts. Ann's got a list for you.
So Jeff, can you refresh my memory on what exactly the erosion control was that you are using out there? It's different on each site. Now, I don't recall exactly what we were using. It's in the order.
It's in the
I
order.
just don't have a copy of it.
I'm trying to look for what exactly was listed in the order.
is it silt fence?
I believe it's definitely a silt fence, and then there's a portion of it that that we have to. We're also going to be installing a regular fence where we have to elevate. I know that per the order.
I think that's once you're getting close to finishing up. That's what that was talking about.
Correct. You are correct.
Okay, well, that's okay. You know, I'll just look at it. I'm sure you'll pay attention to that. One of the things I did want to mention too is the area where you're having that supplemental planting. And to make sure that does get done. It was on the plans and it is mentioned in the order. It's probably part of your landscaping.
Yep, absolutely.
And the responsible party for that is going to be
For the planting installation. The planting installation, we have not awarded our landscape yet. There's a couple companies that we are looking at, but we believe we anticipate having that awarded sometime by June.
And when you do, you can just let us know who that
Absolutely.
is. Thank you.
There's one other item that I'd like to bring up if I may.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of there's a lot of processed fill that got brought from across the street when they did their blasting that we need to process down. It's on the far end of the site, completely opposite end of the site from where Curtis Pond is.
it's down where Mass Diesel used to be.
It's right behind. It's
Behind there?
all the crushed rock that's right behind Mass Diesel.
It's very close to urban air. Yes.
Yes. A lot of that is actually a net export that's not going to be on site. It's going to be taken by Matt Clark. So we'd actually like to start most of it's a good portion of it has nothing to do with the actual construction. Some of it is going to be used on the site ultimately, but we'd like, if possible, once the silt and erosion controls are up on the site, we'd like to start processing that fill to start getting all that moving. Is that something that you guys would entertain or be open to?
The only thing I would do, and I'll refer to our town planner and zoning agent on that. I don't know what's involved in processing, but you may need some dust control there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes, please.
Yes, we agree.
And so, of the commission, the area is not jurisdictional, and so it's not really an issue for us. The sediment erosion control is going to be up in any event, but whatever's involved in the processing, you know, if you'll communicate with the planning department and make sure that the necessary dust control measures are utilized.
And he wants to.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah, so Jeff, if you could, before you do any processing of that, if you don't mind just shooting me a quick kind of outline of what would be involved, and we can kind of kick around a few ideas. I know with a lot of the operations, as the chairman mentioned, as Sean had mentioned, yeah, dust controls, not only the fencing, but maybe misters or something like that, or water on site.
Yep.
But we can chat more about that.
Yeah, I'll link up with my site contractor and I'll provide a nice outline of what we intend to do. And then we also, we don't want to start it before, you know, we want to go around and communicate with the neighbors and the abutters and make sure that they're all aware that we're gonna start some operations. We want to be nice neighbors to everyone the best we can.
It's a good strategy. I see that Josh Schwerling from Bowler is on. Are you going to be the sediment or erosion control specialist on this project?
I believe that Jeff has somebody with SLT that may fill that role for us, but certainly Bowler can default to that if necessary, and we plan on being out there for periodic observations as well. And I just wanted to point out that our plans, our details, the erosion sediment controls are all called out there. Of course, you guys looked at that during the original application process. We also have some details for temporary stockpiles and how to, you know, have some silt fence straw bales on the downhill slopes of those. So I think the processing that Jeff is talking about would certainly be accommodated within the plans that, you know, as we laid them out.
Thank you, Josh.
Any other questions from the commission? Comments?
I have one a quick question, informational question. As you're going down the hill towards Franklin and the site is on your right, there are I wouldn't call it a stand of trees. Behind the one house that's there still on the downward slope and in front of it, there are some large, I'm gonna guess at least one of them is an oak, trees. Are any of those gonna remain, or is that all gonna be cut away?
I'd have to confirm on the plans. There are some trees that we rotated one of the buildings further away from Mechanic Street when we were going through our comprehensive permit process. And I know some of the trees we were able to maintain and retain more trees along the frontage of Mechanic Street there. I don't know if they're the exact trees you're talking about, but I can certainly shoot Ann an email and highlight the trees I'm referring to on the plans and let you confirm if we're on the same page. But I know there were more trees.
It's not jurisdictional, it's just a quick question observation. It'd be nice to keep some mature trees on a site
Absolutely.
that's freshly developed. It gives it a little more character, I think. And I go by it frequently, going to work, so.
Yeah, Mike, they are preserving some of the mature vegetation up front there. And then there was also, you know, the board actually was in agreement with your take there. They're trying to potentially transplant some of these mature trees too that are in the way of the construction, but move them towards the Mechanic Street slightly to try and preserve them. Well, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see if that works, but I thought it was a creative idea.
Well, they'll have big enough equipment.
Yeah, and I think we have access to provide them for free, no cost, I'm sure, from a homeowner in town, a 40-inch sugar maple that's recently become available.
I looked at it on Google Street View. It's a pretty tree.
Beauty.
Pretty.
It really is a beauty.
Yeah.
Centerpiece,
I don't-
worth $1 million.
I
You
don't
could
think
easily,
that
you know, justify that right off.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
So as soon as you get that order recorded, you can please send me the information, Jeff.
Absolutely, we will do.
Thank you.
That being the case, I want to thank you guys for coming in and good luck with the project.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We're looking forward to being in town and working with everybody here on throughout it.
Don't hesitate to reach out.
Oh, we won't.
Okay. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thank
good night.
you very much.
take care
Thanks.
now.
Have a great night.
All right.
Okay, we have a couple of housekeeping items that we need to address before we call it a night. We have two sets of minutes. March 14th, no, March 24th and April 14th. Has everyone had opportunity to peruse the minutes?
Yeah.
Did we close that last hearing before we finished our discussion?
It was
pre-construction.
We don't
pre-construction,
need to close that or anything?
so it was informational.
Good catch, though.
What we're trying to do a little more regularly, the way it's operated in the past is that Ann has been the point of contact for these pre-construction meetings.
Mhm.
And so she's out in the field, she's meeting with these people, but we feel that it's important for some of the larger projects that people come in, meet with the commission, you guys attend the hearings, you guys help develop the order of conditions, you guys ask the questions. So I think it's important that you meet the players, have an opportunity to ask the actual guys who are going to be doing the work in the field questions. So,
Yeah, I agree.
so back to the minutes. Are we good? What's the?
I have one minor tweak on the 14th. Page 3, top of the page,
Wait a minute. Yeah.
second sentence. He communicated that the leach field on the other side of the site does need to be loomed and seeded in the spring as runoff from the top system has resulted in significant erosion. I'm pretty sure leach, that's the version of the sucking carnivorous bug as opposed to LEACH, so you might want to change that. But in a way, leach fields do sort of,
Hold
In the
on.
wrong, you're in the wrong.
Are you talking about April 14th?
I'm sorry, did I say the 14th? I'm gonna say the 24th, sorry, March 24th,
Oh,
page
okay.
3.
March
Sorry,
24th
I had a
and-
question on the 14th too, but I'll get back to that.
Okay, March 24th and,
Sorry, top of the page 3.
okay. Okay,
So I think leach,
Oh, yeah.
and loamed is it LOAMED or LO? I don't know.
Maybe it's not a blood sucker.
Although she's not wrong.
Got
don't we- So maybe that and loamed, I'm LOAMED, I think, I'm not sure. Otherwise, I think that one's fine. And I had a question on the unless somebody else has something for the 24th. I have a question on the 14th.
Okay, anybody else have a question on the 24th? Okay, good. Now on the 14th?
The question I had was about page not the pre-construction meeting. Hold on. 80 Payne Street.
Yep.
Page 2 going into page 3.
Okay, that should be 180 Payne Street.
Oh, 180. Okay. Oh, I guess that's one thing I didn't notice. The question I have is, we talked about, since this is as close to April 30th as we're going to be together, that in this section of the minutes, they're talking about how we expected the applicant to show progress by April 30th or else kind of thing. Then there were some ramifications. Do we know what the status of that is? This is more of a question going forward rather than an issue with this particular minutes.
Oh, so you're looking for an update.
Yeah, that's the question.
I'll defer to the administrator, but I don't think we've heard anything from them yet.
I have reached out to them twice so far. As you know, there was COVID in that office. And I'm trying to push them to make some kind of progress with this peer review. We even had a suggestion from our peer reviewer that perhaps we could just modify the peer review at this point in time, just to get the any potential vernal pools identified. And then we could go into the full resource area delineation confirmation as we move forward. And as I said, I've reached out to them twice since the last meeting, and I haven't heard anything. They do have 2 more days, so I don't have an update as far as that's concerned. But I think what we were talking about is if they don't get back to us with anything, then we're just going to have to close this hearing and without prejudice, and just say, you know, you're going to have to come back and file a new ANRAD because you haven't done anything since December.
We would close the hearing.
Will we do that at the next meeting in May?
We will do that at the continuation of whenever it is.
June 9th?
June 9th.
Right.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to do it before then. Okay, I wasn't sure of that part. Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll close the hearing and issue no decision
That's it.
due to the applicant's inability or unwillingness to provide funding for peer review.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I have.
Any other questions? And actually, that wasn't a question in the minutes. That was more of an update.
Yeah.
So I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, by
Aye.
unanimous vote. So Noel and Ariane, have you been sworn in yet?
Yes, I've been sworn in. I have to get you the paperwork.
Awesome.
I've been sworn in.
That's good. As long as you've been sworn in, that's good.
Ariane, you have?
Yep.
Awesome,
Please
okay.
don't swear during the meeting. It's not
This is
good.
very important moving
Thank you.
forward because in order to have a legally binding vote, you have to be sworn in. So this is important. Okay. The
Signatures for anything?
I'm sorry?
Do you need signatures for anything this weekend?
Well, no, because the septic system
Yes.
it was continued.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You know, we were out there walking up and down on it and didn't even, it's okay.
They were woefully unprepared.
Yeah,
I
well,
think so.
Yeah.
I was gonna, Mr. Chair, I didn't think that
Just saying that, like, you know, really? Professional engineers?
I don't want to do their jobs for them either, like Neil was just saying, but I was going to ask, Mr. Chair, the system they're putting in is the Prezzo, is that what it's called?
Presby.
Presby. That's not a raised system, is it? I couldn't tell from looking at the plans right away.
Yeah, it's elevated, but what they do is they allow you 2 feet of separation to groundwater instead of 4, but they expand the leaching field longitudinally so the footprint of the leaching field is substantially bigger.
Yeah, I'm not going to suggest to the homeowner, current homeowner, who wanted to do anything he could to save the tree and stuff, but if it was possible, and again, I'm not an engineer, to turn it, do a raised bed alongside parallel with the driveway, maybe you would clear the pipe underneath and not have an issue. Maybe you could do a longer, narrower field and stuff, and then avoid the whole tree and stuff. But do a pump chamber over from, it already looks like it could have pump chambers, but I'm not going to recommend a system that's going to cost them $120,000, even if it could be done. So I'll let them figure it out.
I'll talk to Bruce Wilson tomorrow on it.
They weren't very well prepared for that portion.
All right, so how many people have taken the conflict of interest and ethics?
Yes.
Did Noel take it?
Recently, since when?
Just
I've completed the course again this year in 2021.
Oh, perfect.
all right, so you're good.
Yep.
Long as everyone has taken it.
I did, but I'm conflicted about it.
I bet you were.
I tell
Sorry,
you,
Mike. Sorry, Mike.
as long as the
Oh,
bribe's
very
taken, you're happy. I mean, interest payments.
So bottom line is, I think I was the lagging member on that.
Oh,
So what I'll do
No
is
comment, folks.
I will entertain a motion to cancel the meeting of May 28th due to the annual town meeting
No,
conflict.
I just want to confirm that
Oh.
is correct. Is it May 28th or is it 26th?
26th. The
That's
26th is a Wednesday. The 26th.
26th.
I'm looking at a calendar.
right meeting.
It is the 26th.
For some reason, I thought the town meeting was the 4th, but that's town elections, right?
Right.
Right.
Is anybody running for anything, Jim?
No, I don't think anyone's running against anyone. No, I think it's all, yeah.
So it could be another big turnout. Okay.
Yeah, huge turnout.
Real controversial election.
Mr. Cooper, I have one more question for you. You sent out a link to the Concom, I think via Ann, a couple months ago about a planning board forum kind of thing that was being done with various members of either the selectmen and you, or you and some planning board members and some selectmen, about plans for the town moving forward, sort of an informational to the public. Is that somewhere in a link on the, I've looked a little bit around the town planning board website and so forth. I'm not seeing it linked. Was it just in that one email? The first, it was only phase 1 of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
parts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, my 3-part mini series on development in Bellingham. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, it's on the town's website. If you go to the virtual public meetings.
Yeah.
So on the front page of the town website, you have virtual public meetings, and then within that, there's a link for past meetings, and that's going to bring you to our YouTube channel. So you can bookmark that YouTube channel because it has all kinds of fun and exciting things on there. You guys are on there. That's what we post all of our Conservation Commission meetings on there as well. But it does have that 3-part series on our YouTube channel. So right there. And then, yeah, all the other town meetings are there as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Ours are great for putting little kids to sleep, I think. Sean knows that, right?
Yeah.
So I asked for a motion. I don't think I got it. So I'll do it again. I'd like to entertain a motion to cancel the May 28th meeting, May 26th,
26.
due to the annual town meeting conflict.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, tied, but that's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be having plenty of information coming in for Red Mill and the associated town roadway improvement. And we're also going to have the subdivision that is near and dear to Sean's heart, Bungay Brook. That finally will be coming up. So, let's sharpen our minds and be prepared to conduct some hefty project review.
Be a whole lot of fun doing Bungee Brook, I'm sure.
Now, are you a direct property abutter to Bungay?
I am. Yep.
All right,
Wow.
so you're all done with that one.
Yep. I'm all off that one. I'll be in the crowd though.
No, that's good.
And you can certainly do that, and you can certainly ask questions.
I sure will.
All right. If there's nothing further, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Amy.
Good night.
Take care.
Stay safe, everybody.